Music fan life used to revolve around the local independent record store where they'd meet like-minded fans and musicians who'd get them to listen to all kinds of unlikely stuff. But in the Midlands, a third of indie record stores have disappeared in the last 10 years. This summer, Coventry's last one closed its doors for good. So we sent j.e.w.e.l.s to find out why.
After 5 years selling records in Coventry, for Matt Green, the music's over.
Basically, the market's gone, industry-wise. There isn't really a sufficient need for vinyl records anymore. People are still saying it's too expensive, whereas they can go online, go on the internet, download a legitimate copy, or the other alternative is they can go onto a file sharing system and download it for free.
If current trends continue, then UK music fans will pay to download around 100 million tracks this year, and it's thought the number of illegal downloads could be 20 times more.
You've just had a new delivery, you're pulling out records all the time and saying, "What? Have a listen to this, have a listen to this," and they're actually flicking through the records first before we even listen to them. No, got that, got that, got that. And thinking, hold on a minute, it's actually been physically released today. It's Monday, you've come in, it's been physically released, how can you have it? Oh, I've downloaded it at the weekend. I think it's finished. Personally, I don't think there's going to be any independent record stores like this left probably in the next 5 years.
This was the last in Coventry city centre. You may wonder why that matters. After all, times change. But the independent record shop offers something different that you can't find on the high street or on the internet. And that's been really important for the music scene here in Coventry. Back in the late 70s, Coventry's musicians were creating a new sound. Two-tone bands like the Specials were fusing together punk and reggae. And they were being inspired by a steady supply of records from across the Atlantic.
Pete Waterman used to have a small little independent record shop where we all used to go and buy our records from. You used to go in there and you would know different people, you'd see them every week there, and that's how I got into punk, which was kind of weird at the time for a black guy getting into punk, wearing pins and stuff and putting jump pointing about the place. We used to get stuff imported from America and Jamaica. The only place we used to be able to get these was from the independents. Well, me personally, if it wasn't for those independent record shops, yeah, I wouldn't have got into Specials. I don't think most of the guys in the Specials would have been influenced by reggae as well. So it's played a big major part in my career anyway.
There's nothing better than a record for me. Each and every one of my records, I believe, is a piece of art. It's something you can't get from a CD or an MP3. This is the Fatback Band. I remember when I first heard this, I mean, look at the smell and the look of it, it's fantastic. I remember when I first heard this, I didn't know what it was. So I walked into a second-hand record store, sung it to this old bloke behind the counter, and of course, he knew exactly which track I was looking for.
The problem is, not everyone shares my enthusiasm. Vinyl sales have halved over the past 5 years. CD sales are falling too. Little wonder then that 2/3 of independent music shops in the Midlands have shut in the last 10 years. I'm in the centre of Birmingham and I'm about to visit a record shop that I used to visit almost 20 years ago. I remember finishing school about an hour early just so I can come here and try and find old Prince records, old soul funk records, a classic Marvin Gaye record. It's the legendary Reddington's Rare Records, but now it's a lighting shop. It's a bleak picture, but some shops are surviving against all the odds. The Diskery is one of the oldest in the country. Jimmy Shannon's been working here for more than 40 years.
So how did the store actually get started?
Morris, who's the owner and still is, opened in 1952, dealing in jazz 78s, jazz LPs, and it went on from there. As popular music became popular music, started to stock the new releases of popular artists of the day from the large record companies, and it just grew and grew and grew and expanded like that. We stocked plenty of soul music. It was always a love affair for people with Motown stuff. Loads of reggae music. You think of the West Indian community in Birmingham in those days.
With record stores closing down across the Midlands, across the country, all around the world, America even, I mean, why is your store still open? What's What's been the secret?
One of the great strengths is our knowledge between us. The boss, since 1952, had the store. Liam, nearly 40 years working there, me just over 40 years. Put all that together, we're all on the same wavelength. We know what we're doing, and you just follow your instincts.
Jimmy says knowing your customers is key, and that can be anyone from blues fans to hip-hop producers like Cypher from Moorish Delta 7. Cypher's music may be the sound of the streets, but for inspiration, he spends hours browsing through obscure and rare records.
I like music that is different and it gives me ideas. I like listening to experimental music.
Okay, but you're coming in here to listen to these records. Can you not do that online?
I mean, where am I going to find this?
Yeah.
Online?
Yeah.
Maybe I can, but I can come in the store and I can find maybe 10 or 11 pieces that I'm not going to find anywhere else. And second thing, the benefit of the experience of the people working in the store. These guys here are like almanacs. And there is something kind of special about picking up a piece of vinyl, putting it on the turntable, getting the needle, putting the needle on, starting the turntable, and hearing that little crackle before the music starts.
Do you think the sound quality is better between vinyl and MP3?
I feel that vinyl has a sound to it, an analog sound to it that is quite rich and full.
He's right, but that's something that's lost on the MP3 generation. If there's going to be a future for record shops, it's them I need to convert.
Hi Sam, how you doing?
Hello.
Adil, nice to meet you.
All right.
Where do you get your music from then?
I get it all from the internet. Download it all.
You never buy records or CDs?
It just seems easier to get all my music off the computer, really.
Now you're listening to Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, right?
Yeah.
This is an album copy.
I recognise the artwork.
I'm going to prove to you that this sounds better than your version.
Fair enough.
Come with me. Okay, Sam, first I'm going to play you your version from the MP3 player. Now, I'm going to play you off the vinyl. Okay, this is the original vinyl, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Let's see how it sounds. Okay, Sam, so you've heard the vinyl version
Yep.
and the MP3 version. Which one was better?
I go for the vinyl.
Ah, great. Why? Why do you think that was so good?
Just a deeper, warmer kind of sound. It sounded really good.
Yeah, there's a certain distance with that.
Yeah, it sounds brighter, but it's not got the same quality to it.
So, which copy would you rather take home with you?
I think I'll take this one.
Excellent.
You've won me over.
It's a small victory, but in fact, Sam's not the only young person discovering vinyl. It's just possible there could be a new generation of record buyers.
Young people coming along, a lot of them, they still want to own something. And because they don't put any value on the CD, because they can make one of those themselves on their PC if they want to, but there's not many of them that can press a single or an LP. So the object has a value.
And while overall sales of both CDs and records are still falling, some shops are bucking the trend. As far as I'm concerned, that's great news.
I would say that vinyl sales are at least double, probably a little bit more than what they were, say, 3 or 4 years ago. I would hope that we've got to a point where the ones that have got through the last 2 or 3 difficult years, have hit a stable point and will continue. I can't see why you shouldn't be able to come into a shop and buy vinyl in 5 or 10 years.